Welcome back, Tough Men of Faith.
What's up, RT?
Oh, we're just talking about you balding, and me balding, and
Yep.
producer Blake keeps a full set of hair.
He's balding too, just on his face. How you been? It's been a couple of weeks.
It has, yeah.
Had some technical difficulties.
We did, yeah.
Yep.
We actually recorded a couple. It just
Yeah.
didn't work out. Man.
Producer Blake.
He didn't like them.
He didn't like 'em.
He told us it just didn't work.
Yep.
But
So here we are. We're gonna retry.
we are. July 4th.
It's this week. Are you ready?
I'm ready. This is kind of your day, right?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is for sure my day.
You have your outfit picked out for today?
Oh yeah, I have a couple outfits.
Yeah.
Got to do outfit change. One just for Rachel and one for when guests arrive.
You got your big party and
Yeah, we
light
do
fireworks
a party, fireworks, and
yeah.
You're
like professional fireworks, though, not
it's
like
gonna be pretty professional. Yeah.
yeah.
So hopefully I can do it all like remote control this year and sit with all my friends and launch them from, a couple hundred feet away. We'll see.
You have like some you push down the nerves.
No, I've been trying to find one of those.
Okay.
They're painfully hard to find.
Yeah.
Working, dynamite blasters, but I'm gonna get one. I'll find it.
Yeah. Synchronize the music.
Not this year. Maybe I'll play some music, but there'll be no synchrony. So, yeah.
Well, appreciate Increase Jesus sponsoring us this episode, this season,
Yep.
right?
Check out their wear, their shirts.
Yeah.
And, holy shirts and pants.
Use tough-10
Tough-10
off.
Yeah.
The other thing, so we got the Farmstead Summit coming up.
Farmstead Summit. Are you ready?
I am. I've been out to the farm getting some stuff ready, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ready to roll.
Okay.
Make sure you get signed up.
Yep.
So we've been
It's on
talking
the
about
website.
this. It's on the website now.
toughmenoffaith.org.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. And just kind of a warning, like it doesn't look very professionally done because, well,
We're not professionals.
we're not professionals.
Yeah.
But the main thing is we just want to get you signed up.
Yep.
And
Get
so
out
you can know who's
there,
coming. And
have
we're
a good
also going to
weekend.
limit, because we can only take so many.
Yep.
So get signed up early. But yeah, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, so it's going to be a Thursday through Saturday. We know not everyone can make it
Okay.
Thursday night. So if you can get out there Friday,
Yeah.
we'll kick everything off Friday afternoon.
Friday, Saturday. It'd be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be, fun.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I am too.
Yep.
I'm too. We'll talk about it more next couple weeks.
Okay. Good deal.
About some things, but yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Yeah, today. So one of the things we've kind of hit on this a lot at different times and different topics, but it's the idea of communication
Okay.
that a lot of guys struggle with it.
Yeah. Really?
You
A lot of marriages struggle with it.
In marriages, yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be part of it. I think like a holistic approach to our communication. There's a lot of things we can just learn
Okay.
from this, like some different areas that we need to work on.
Yeah.
Because we're always communicating,
Right.
or should be.
Right.
So-
Is it good communication? Is it bad communication?
Or it's communication,
Yeah.
right? So, I studied communication in college.
Oh, that's right. You
In
did.
my undergrad, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
because
mean-
I was so bad at it.
You would have needed to
Well,
for your current job.
that's true. I didn't know that at the time, but at the
Yeah.
time I was like, I need to pick a major. It seemed
Okay.
pretty easy.
Yeah.
I later found out that it is a really easy major, at least for most people. Not
Okay.
me.
Yeah. I'm a good communicator. So.
Are you?
Yeah.
I was not. Not at all.
Okay.
But it's helped me a lot, like
Nice.
learning some of that skills and different
Okay.
things. So yeah.
So you gonna share some of that today?
Yeah, some
Nice.
practical things, right? So
Okay.
you can use it in your marriage, wherever.
Yeah.
So number one, you ready?
Yep.
Would be to sharpen your listening skills.
Oh yeah, I remember talking about this now.
Yeah, we already recorded one on this.
Yeah,
bring
but,
back some
I
memories.
missed it.
Yeah,
and,
it's fine. But the
Producer Blake and
yeah.
yep.
He's over there trying to get you to move on, right? Let's
Yeah,
just move on.
yeah.
Sharpen your listening skills.
Sharpen your listening skills,
Yeah,
Producer
yeah.
Blake.
No. James 1:19. We talked about James a lot.
did,
in
yeah.
here. Be quick to listen.
Yeah, quick to judge,
No,
quick to
listen.
yell,
Quick
quick to throw things.
whatever you want to put in there. Slow to speak is where we're going.
Yeah.
Right? Be slow to speak. So where you're really like trying to be an active listener.
Yeah.
So a big part of communicating is listening.
Yep, I agree. And are you actively listening, or are you just hearing?
What do you mean?
Are you like listening? Are you paying attention? Are you are you gathering what people are talking about? Or are you just hearing somebody talk?
Yeah,
Just so you can say something back to them.
that's true. Yeah. The idea of this, like, hey, I'm listening just so I know what to say.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is a big one, I think, for guys.
Yeah, I think a lot of people struggle with communicating properly.
Yeah. So so your marriage, you brought that up, not
Right.
your marriage, but a marriage.
Yeah, probably my marriage.
Well, I
but,
wasn't saying that, but
That's
you
okay.
know, right? If
I'll throw
you're-
myself under the bus here. I'm
you're-
not always a great communicator.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, listening specifically, like I know I struggle with that.
yeah,
I live with. I'm married.
you
And I
live
have
with a lot of
three
women,
teenage daughters,
right?
and I try.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I want to say I try, but
I bet you zone out a lot,
I
and then I bet it's hard to turn that back on
it
to
is.
listening mode.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm really bad at. I can be listening to someone, and then all of a sudden they know, like people close to me, is like, "Hey, you've quit listening." So
Right.
they could probably say whatever they want.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, but it sends a message when you do that, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
it sure does.
do you
I get in
even
trouble
really
for this
care?
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to be a better communicator,
Don't do like I do.
yeah, I wasn't saying that, but sharpening your listening skills.
Yeah.
So being an active listener and intentionally trying to
Yep.
to listen to people.
Yeah, be intentional with it.
Yeah. The second one would be to speak with some honesty.
Okay.
Not some,
Yeah,
all honesty,
yeah.
right? Kind of
Couple lies.
Yeah.
Mostly honest.
Yeah. Ephesians 4 talks about this. Put
Yep.
off falsehood, speak truthfully, that type of thing. But not just speaking honest, but also in love. So Paul encourages believers to
Oh,
be
I remember now.
truthful.
You and I talked
truthful
about
with
this
one
the other
another.
day.
We did.
Sometimes you speak to me in love.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We were in a group setting.
Right. I brought up something that was for a different group.
That definitely we didn't want to talk about in that group
In
setting.
that group, yeah.
And
You said, nope, not
the
the right
place,
group,
not
not
the
the
place.
place. And
yeah,
man,
so I think that'd be example.
it's like
I
deja
think
vu. It's like this is all just, it's like
It
this
is.
has all happened before.
I was being honest with you, but I
Yeah.
think the reason I was able to tell you to not say anything is
Yeah.
because you know I care
Yeah, and you know me.
and I know
And
you and you know that we have a
You're
great
like, I
relationship.
could see where this goes and watch it derail, but
Yeah.
I could also save my buddy here and say, hey, Aunt, don't do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and so I think that's important though
Yeah.
to be willing to do that
I agree.
because there is part of like I could just let you fly, man. Like
And I
Watch 'em
love,
burn.
yeah, I love watching a ship crash or a train crash and just let's just see what happens next. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
yeah, so I
And
think
I appreciate that.
yeah. Well, and you've done it with me, and I've had other friends that have, and so I think we
Yeah.
have to be willing to do that. To, like, dishonestly tell them, like, "Hey, you probably shouldn't do that."
Yeah.
But you got to do it in love.
I think I've said that before. That all pastors need non-pastor friends,
Yeah.
so their friends can say what they want to say.
Yeah.
You sign it to me, I'll say it.
Yeah. That's not quite where I was going, but yeah. So the idea of speaking honest, doing that in love,
Yep.
I think really helps our communication. The third one is to command your presence.
Yeah.
When you're communicating, or another way for some of us would be like, watch your face
Yeah.
when you're saying something.
Yep.
Proverbs 15:13, a happy heart makes the face cheerful, but heartache crushes the spirit. So I think that
Does your
proverb
face ever get you in trouble when you talk to
Yeah,
somebody?
all the time.
Me too.
And I think that's what that proverb is suggesting, that
Yeah.
there's these nonverbal cues that you're going to give off when you communicate,
Yep.
and you need to be careful.
Right.
So
Yep. This gets me in trouble quite often.
your face,
Your face didn't say what you just did.
yeah.
You know how many times I hear that? It's
Sounds
often.
like quite often.
Yeah, it's often.
Quite often, yeah. So I think our facial expressions, we need to watch those because it's a lot of times our inner emotions coming out.
Yeah.
With that,
This is always humbling to do these podcasts
it is.
because I feel like you're like picking on me.
No,
It's like I feel like my wife told you to say, "Hey, you
know.
guys need to talk about communication because Nick sucks at that here lately, or
yeah,
he zones out, or
yeah,
his face."
yeah. Rachel never calls me up and says, "Here's 10 things you need on the podcast." For
Right,
Nick."
yep, she texts you.
But this is one I struggle with this one a lot as well. Is
Yeah.
that maybe, and sometimes it's just the fact that I look bored during
Yeah.
conversations.
Well, sometimes I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like this.
I'm doing my best here, but let's wrap it up.
Which kind of goes to a deeper thing, like we need to care, right? Like when someone's talking,
Yeah, we do need to.
we need to,
Yeah.
right? If you're gonna,
Yeah, we need to make ourselves available. If we're going to open up a conversation or let somebody open up a conversation with us, then we actually need to be available and be attentive.
yeah, or maybe not have a shocked face, like when they say something, right? Like,
Right? We need to practice that. Just be stone faced.
well, I don't think that's the look either, right? So
Okay. We just do surprised all the time.
No.
What?
maybe we just need an episode on like
Facial expressions?
facial expressions while you're communicating, and like we could just bring someone in and have them say things to you and see how
Right.
your face responds.
What?
But this is one, like, I don't think we think about a lot, but it's important.
Right.
Like commanding your presence
Yeah.
when it comes time for talking. So,
Yeah, that's good.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
I feel like you're wanting me to move on off this one.
No, I just feel like I don't need to say what I'm thinking.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's. I don't know what you're thinking.
I'm getting wiser, maybe,
Maybe,
or more self-control. I don't know.
maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, so good one to kind of think about.
Yeah.
Number 4, engage with a purpose.
Okay.
So when you're communicating, make sure you engage with a purpose or ask good questions.
Yeah.
We see this all through the Gospels, like even Jesus on the road to Emmaus, like he's asking questions of them. You see that in the parables, asking questions. So Jesus used a lot of open-end questions. I think that's important for us. If we're going to engage people in a deeper conversation, we need to ask questions about them.
And open-ended questions.
Yeah.
You know, not just yes/no questions.
Yeah, and showing interest.
Yeah.
Right, in their thoughts, how they're feeling, what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I do. You know, this is a big one. Like, because there are people that you probably enjoy talking to.
There is,
They're
yeah.
great conversationalists. You're a good conversationalist.
Sometimes, yeah.
Your
If I'm
facial
interested in
expressions
what
may
we
not
want
be
to
the
talk
best,
about.
but you ask people a lot of this like open-ended questions and
What?
try to get to know them. I can't look at you.
Yeah.
This is important.
But there's times where I'm not
Yeah?
a great conversationalist, and there's times where I don't even want you to talk to me.
Yeah.
I bet my face says that long before.
Yeah, your body language.
Yeah,
does.
my body language, or you know, long before I verbally say it.
I see it. Sometimes I'm up there preaching. I'm stepping on your toes, and I look at your body language, and I thought, this dude's
Man,
not
he's
gonna,
squirming today.
he's not going to shake my hand on the way out this morning.
Yep, he's going out the back door today.
Yeah, but this engage with a purpose, like it's
Yeah.
So it's important at home, right? If you're married,
Yep.
in your business, also like as Christians, like as men, we're called to share the gospel with people,
Right.
and you know there is approach to this standing on the street corner and yelling and preaching.
Yeah.
But I think there's
Did you
also
go to the fair this week?
I did not.
Did you see the people?
No.
Oh, dude, it's
No.
like they get their kids and they give them the little handy Bibles, and
Yeah.
the kids just run around. They're like, "Get your Bible!" And
Yep.
I avoid those people.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I
if
think
they-
everybody does.
Yeah.
Um,
If they feel like that's
most
what
people
God
do,
wants them
yeah.
to do, then you know it's between them and God.
Yep, I agree.
It's what He's called them to. But
Yep.
I think He calls a lot of us just to have great conversations with people.
Yeah.
And get to know people where they're at. And
I
the
think
way
there's
to,
a better approach.
yeah, and the way to do that is
than literally Bible thumping people at the fair.
yeah,
Yeah.
engaging them with just a strong purpose of, hey, how are you? You know, find out where they're hurting.
Yeah.
And hopefully eventually to be able to share the gospel with
Right.
them. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
I
there's some
actually
hope.
care about you, and I want to engage with you, and let's build a relationship off of that.
Yeah, and it's probably not just one conversation, right?
Right.
You're developing a relationship, and it's
Yeah.
taking time and getting to know them, and
Right.
yeah, and then staying in that conversation.
Yeah.
Even when it's tough, and
Yep.
yeah,
And then they become your really good friends, and you get to start making fun of them, and
yeah, and tell them when you're in a social setting that they need to shut up,
Right,
to save them,
exactly.
right? So
Yeah.
that's what ends up happening.
to save them a little embarrassment.
Yep.
So
Yeah. I just need you on Sunday. Well, probably it's going to be someone else. Like, when I'm
Yeah.
getting ready to say something when I'm preaching, just like shake their head no. And I'm like,
I
okay,
could
don't
try
say
and help
it.
you with that.
No,
Um,
no.
yeah, I better get somebody else.
You know, my wife sits in the front row.
I
So
bet she does that a bunch.
she really,
Really?
she probably would. If I'm going to say something I shouldn't, I just can't make sure to look up. So
Yeah. Yep. Just look back at the sound booth.
look at the sound booth. Number 5, the last one,
Yeah.
is lead with empathy.
Okay.
Lead with empathy. So when when Lazarus died,
Yep.
you know, Jesus knew He's going to raise him from the dead.
Yeah.
But Mary and Martha, they were crying. Jesus shows up, John 11:35.
Yep.
Jesus weeps.
Yeah. He was sad
He
for
was
them.
sad. Even though he knew it was going to happen,
Yeah.
he had this like empathetic spirit in his communication with them.
Right.
And I think we need to demonstrate that empathy towards others.
Yeah.
This validating their feelings and
Right.
showing compassion. And sometimes that can be tough for us.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean,
but
like
yeah.
I think you said once or twice before, like you have teenage daughters.
Mhm.
You know what they're going through today might seem like no big deal to you, but to them, it's their world, and
Yeah.
to have any kind of empathy is just, it just seems so minute.
Yeah.
But other people's issues,
Mhm.
they mean something to them, and
Yeah.
we need to be empathetic.
Yeah. So here's how we're going to end today.
Okay.
So, and I think we may do this next week too. We'll see. But there's like 3 practical things because sometimes we
Okay.
talk about a lot.
Yeah.
And guys listen. I think they're like, "Oh, that sounds good. I need
Yeah.
to fix my face.
I need to do that too.
I need to ask better
And-
questions."
Yeah. Now the episode's over. Back to the radio.
Right. Yeah.
I listened. Check.
But so 3 practical things. Just grab one of them and try to do it.
Okay.
All right. So The first one would be what we're calling a daily check-in.
Okay.
So with these things, like make a habit to check in with your spouse if you want, maybe a close friend, or someone else. Like intentionally ask them, like, "Hey, how did I do communicating?
Yeah.
Like, do I listen? Does my face need some work?
Right.
Do I look like I check out?
Right.
Do I ask good questions? Is the conversation always about me? Am I an active listener?" And so check in with them to see how you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that would be a great way to like.
Yep. I
Really,
agree.
like, figure out your communication.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we don't think about it.
Yeah. I don't think about it.
And sometimes we have blind spots in it too.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So if
Yep.
I have a close enough friend, I can say, "Hey, when you're
like
talking
that.
to me,"
I might try that. I might
Yeah.
go home and say, "How did I do today? How did I do this week?"
I tried this a couple years ago,
Okay.
and I asked. That's been a few years back, and I
Yeah.
asked two friends this question. They both gave me the same response.
Really?
And both of them ticked me off.
Great. Well, that's why you quit asking that question.
But they were both right.
Okay.
Because then I asked my wife and someone else, and it's like, okay, I have 4 people that tell me I do this.
Yeah.
And so it was basically like, hey, if I'm out to lunch with you or someplace, I can tell when your mind's already someplace else.
Oh, yeah.
And you've checked out this conversation.
Right.
And you're really bad about it. And because I just kind of opened up, I was like, hey, can you tell me how my communication is like when we're in a conversation? And it was both of them just right at that. Like they've been waiting to say it for years.
Yeah. I didn't know how to bring this up, but
Yeah. It felt like a dagger.
I can tell exactly when you're done with the conversation.
Yeah. And so I try to work on that now.
Yeah.
But I know I fall short.
I can tell when you're done with the conversation now.
Yeah.
You just walk away,
That's
which
true.
is
That's-
better your listening skill. It's like, okay, well, I'm done with this, and you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second, so you could have a daily check-in where you're checking with someone.
Yeah.
The other one would be maybe try asking open-ended questions
Okay.
with people. So if you
Yeah.
struggle with communicating conversations, like start looking at how you have those conversations, and are you asking open-ended questions, trying to get to know people.
Yeah.
So, what was the best part of your day? How did you feel about this? Could really help, maybe in your marriage.
Yeah.
right? Like instead of how was your day, and you just expect to okay, like maybe ask some open-ended questions.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
And then your next one? Or is that all you got?
No, I said I have 3.
Okay.
The third one, maybe that you want to focus on, would be your body language awareness.
Yeah.
So we kind
Like
of
you
talked about
shouldn't
this.
sigh when I ask a question. Man, your
yeah.
communication sucks.
Yeah. So on
No,
this one,
I said I had 3.
on this one, would be more like this, like a self-awareness to
Yeah.
kind of look back through the day and say, hey, did I maintain eye contact? Did I stay engaged? What was my body language
Right.
like during that
How was
conversation?
my facial expressions?
How's my facial
Yeah.
expressions?
Did I look
right?
surprised?
Yep. Did I look bored?
Yeah.
So really doing like a self-assessment. 'Cause
Yeah.
we can do that at
Oh, yeah.
times, right?
That's
And see
easy.
where we're at. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, to do an honest self-assessment.
Yeah.
Probably pretty easy. Might be humbling.
Yeah. So do a self-assessment or get someone else to assess you. I
Right.
guess maybe let's just put that down to 2 things.
Okay.
Do one of those.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it.
And see how you're doing.
All right.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
All
I
right.
think that was good today. I had fun.
Yeah. July 4th. Hopefully
I
Nick
acted
has all his
surprised.
fingers
Yeah.
in the next.
Yeah.
episode.
Don't lose any of your 10 fingers. Be careful tonight. Have a good time. Celebrate safely. Listen to the podcast. Share it with your friends.
Yeah.
And
Sign up for the Farmstead Summit.
Farmstead Summit and check out the
Increase Jesus.
Increase Jesus. I don't know why I never forget or I never remember the website.
All right. See you guys next week.
Yep. See you next week. Thanks.